So, well, my friends, one has asked me, why do I play alone streetball? You know, a very, very good question, and that is not that easy to answer, you know. I have two reasons why I do it. One reason is very simple to explain, because of the videos, you know. But I tell you right now, I would also do the same to play alone without the video, you know. But with the video, the thing is, I'm always working 100% correct. I try it. That means that I don't want to have people in, you know. Because when people are in, you have a problem. They will tell you, I don't want to be in the video, put it out, put it out. They make you problems. Even, for example, I'm here now on a court, and when there are people running behind of me, yeah, then I can let it in YouTube. I have no problem, you know. I will get no problem. But I think I don't do that because I don't want it, you know. I also don't want that people film me and do it somewhere in. You know, that is a thing of respect. That is reason number one. But the more interesting part is why I'm doing it really alone, also without the camera. In a short terms, because I enjoy it, you know. But that is very simple said. I will explain you why I really do that. And first of all, we are at Dream Court. Yeah, watch this. This is my dream court. And to understand why I play alone, now you know why I have the sunglasses on, because it is hot and the sun burns into the eyes here in the sun. So this is when I want to answer you that question, because someone has asked me this. I tell you, we have to go backwards when it started my streetball, you know. I am a streetballer since 1991. That is very important. And when I tell you now that story a little bit, afterwards you will understand why I'm doing this, and you will say, boy, yeah, I know it now for real. And I will hear now some history about streetball, what I think about nowadays, why I'm doing this, what has changed and all that stuff. Then you really understand me. It's a really nice video. I enjoyed it now. So we start with it. I started it in the real streets. I have told this often. It was in a real street where cars were driving, and there was hanging a ring in a stone wall. The stone wall, a rough stone wall, that was our board. There I started it. I will show you always a little bit video or pictures that you can imagine something. That means I started on asphalt, you know, asphalt, 1991. A little bit later, we go now faster forward. I had a own basketball ring at my back garage, at the house where our garage was, and there was a ring. You will also see the picture, and that was also asphalt. So I played there on asphalt, you know, with our own ring, no lines, nothing, and I enjoyed it. And then a little bit later, in the late 90s, I had my home court around 1997, 1998. They built a ring there. There was skateboarding and there was a ring then and a board. Now we have it back, the same ring as back then, you know it. And you will see that, and that was asphalt, no line, nothing. And there I spent a lot of time all day, and there you could do whatever you want. That was streetball to me. And I can tell you also that my time, I have to make it in two periods. The early 90s, 1991 to 1995, and then on 1995-6 to the late 90s, 1999-2000. These are two complete different eras in my opinion for the streetball. And so you see how I started it. Always on asphalt, never with rules, never with lines. And so I have learned it, and that is a complete other way like many people nowadays. Because nowadays people have a lot of courts. They have in every area such cage courts, you know, where a cage is a small rubber court with lines in. And nowadays we have the 3-3 tournaments, and people, when they hear the name streetball, they think of the name 3-3 tournaments. And that is streetball to them. And when you ask me, that is to me absolutely not streetball. But now we come to the point. The thing is, when you grow up nowadays, you have a complete other experience into basketball, streetball, whatever you call it, than I had, you know. And maybe the people before my time, I have seen videos from Innsbruck from 1975, a streetball tournament. I have seen a video, you know. It was by the Goldene Dachel, you know, then you know where it is. And there was also other time. And then how you grew up as a child, and this is maybe your main thing. Boy, that is great, that was nice, and that is what I want. And so I can understand when people nowadays say, wow, 3-3 tournament, that is the best thing, that is the poor shit, you know, but the shit in good words, you know what I mean, the absolute amazing thing to me is complete meaningless. But you have to understand, you know, but I don't say the 3-3 tournament is bad. No, I think now our next plane comes, the airport, they're a little bit away, but it goes to the other side, the plane. A little bit wind we also have, so my forearm weight, it is damaged. I have no money to buy a new one, even if it's cheap. So, and the thing is, I grown up older, and to me, it is a complete other time than nowadays, yeah? And then we come to play alone. You have seen it where it started by me. First we played together on my first court in the street. Then at my home garage court, there I played always alone, or almost always. And then at the home court, you know, there we played together, and later on I played complete alone there because no one was there anymore. The people went grown up people, they were older teenagers back then, and they started to drink, you know, and to smoke. And I never did this, I didn't like that, and so I was the last one there who did sports, you know, and so I played there alone. Very important to know. And that I always played on asphalt, because I love always now asphalt more than rubber places. That people also don't understand from nowadays, you know. They have a complete other side to streetball, basketball than I have. But mine is not better than from them, and them is not better than mine. The only thing what I have, where I have a problem when people tell me streetball is 3-3 and nothing else. Then I have to tell, no, there was a streetball before the 3-3, you know. But that is the thing. And now the wind comes more and more. And so the two different eras you have to understand now, because in the late 90s there started the and-one era, you know. And-one existed longer before, what I know, but really it went popular in the late 90s, early 2000s here and also in the US when they make their tour, when the VHS DVDs came out. You have seen there things that was before the internet was going on, you know, you had no internet at home. And that was absolutely crazy, you know, you have seen there things what you have never seen before. And that was so cool that time. But you know, and-one nowadays is lost, you know. I was there before and-one was, you know, before. And-one was there, that was maybe the biggest hype from streetball we have ever had. And nowadays people, I tell you also, younger people, they don't know what and-one is. You know, a lot of people. And-one is a name which they have never heard of. From the players, you know, they know the professor, but not the and-one time. Yeah. And so and-one, that was the late 90s, and there it changed also with the 3-3 game. And now you will listen and say, what, 3-3? That started with the FIBA in 2000, when was it, 7? FIBA 2007, there it started. No, there was 3-3 streetball in the 90s. There was also 3-3, it's not that is the new stuff. You know, nowadays we have the 3-3 tournaments, we have the big three in America, you know, generated by Ice Cube. A little bit other with the 4-point shooting, other music and other things around. That was in 2017, what I think. And then we have the Red Bull 3-3 tournaments and a lot on, you know. But in the early 90s, and now we come to this, there was also the clothing order. When you think the baggies, the big things, that was the 90s, yeah, that was the middle to late 90s. But I was there before that time also was. And in the early 90s, no one wore the big XXL t-shirts and the big bands. There the people wore normal clothes. You shown up with a normal jean, you have shown up with a normal short band, not under the knees, over the knees, normal sport clothes, street clothes. That was the early 90s outdoor basketball. And when I talk about the 90s, then two names come to my mind, two brands beside the and-one in the early 90s to middle 90s, and that was Adidas and Reebok. Adidas and Reebok was streetball back then. Nowadays almost unthinkable, but Adidas, what I know, started it in the early 90s. You know, I think in 1992, once I said 94, that was wrong. I think 1992 they started it with the streetball 3-3 tournament. Since then we know 3-3 tournaments. And I was there before the 3-3 tournaments was, you know. I started in 1991, and in 1992, 93, yeah, 93 it was a little bit other, but no one heard of 3-3 tournaments. They didn't exist to us, you know. And then Adidas started this. And that was a big thing. Why? Because we young people, we didn't have internet. For the young people, you cannot imagine that. And for the older people, you always have to think, the young ones, they grown up with internet, smartphones since a child. They cannot think that this didn't exist one time. And we were sitting at home. The only information was on a television and not Amazon Prime and Netflix. You had not to choose, oh, I want to watch this. You had 20, 30 channels on television, and they have shown you what they wanted. You could not decide, oh, I want now this or that, nothing. You had no internet, there was no smartphone, nothing. You know, you could only go to a shop and buy a newspaper and to read what is happening in the world or not. And then went the 3-3 from Adidas. And that was such a big thing, and there I also thought that is really great and cool, because that was something we have not experienced here in Europe, in Middle Europe, Austria, Germany, you know, Italy. And Adidas made that a household name. And back then, you know, Adidas wanted to generate money. Nowadays you can know that, but back then we thought, wow, that is so cool. And they had commercials on television, commercials. I will show you that and link you that in the description. Then you see how that was. Adidas Streetball Tournament. And you know, that was a mix with skateboarding, you know, with hip-hop, with breakdancing and streetball. Those things were always together, and the music, you know. And that was all together, and they shown up for the first time in a real street. They built up there a court, and now we could play there and go, wow, we have the same lifestyle like in the US. They shown it up like the backyard courts in the US, the NBA, the cool thing, you know. And also at that time it was showing up the NBA Jam game, you know, in 1994. And that also made it so popular, 2 versus 2 with dunks and cool things, and all that together, that generated, that was unbelievable, you know, to us. And you cannot imagine how that was, you know, when you have seen a real court in the middle of a street. That was unthinkable back then. They have put there a ring, and then they played their streetball. You could show up as a teenager, wow, and then you had the hip hop, the thing, and they made it like a cool session, you know, wow, there now we are cool. And that was really big, and so everyone wanted to see that. And there I thought, wow, there's 3-3, that is the real shit, really cool, you know. And Reebok was also in there very big, Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, I think, back then. And they had also commercials with streetball. They have shown you like the hood in the US with real streetball. We didn't know about Ruckerbuck and those things. Where should we know this? There was no internet, no VHS cassettes about this. But then you have seen the commercial, wow, maybe this is in the US, wow, the real players. Because NBA were the gold standard, you know. We have seen it in 1992, the Dream Team. They have blasted everyone out, I think with 30 to 50 points difference. They blasted everyone out. Jordan had made the job, you know. We always were NBA favorites. My team was always the Hornets, never the Bulls. I loved Scottie Pippen, but I never liked Jordan, but I respected it. And when it came heart to heart, I told it once, we always saw about the NBA players, they will do it. Jordan will make the job done. Yeah, and he did it, you know. And so NBA was the best thing. And so when they shown up, oh, the real streetball from the US, now we have it in our city. And so that started with the streetball time. And Reebok and Adidas were the inventors from all that stuff. And nowadays, it is a complete other thing. Because nowadays it went completely commercial. And to me, 3-3 FIBA, this is our own sport. To me, that has nothing to do anymore with real streetball, you know. Back then it looked a little bit the same, but there were showing up people which had nothing to do with basketball with clubs. They were showing up with normal clothes, yeah, and then later it changed. Then you have to pay money and this and that. And back then they had music, you know, there were stages. You can watch all that in the description from the early to middle 90s. They had stages with music, you know, and that was shown on television, on Eurosport. They have shown streetball tournaments, and that was the really cool shit back then. And nowadays, to me, that is completely a different story. Nowadays, I really don't like the FIBA 3-3. I don't play it, I don't watch it. I have absolutely, really 100% nothing to do with it. But that does not mean it is bad, but it is something what has nothing to do with my streetball, which I have grown up, you know. The thing, you know, is a lot now, but you have to listen. There is a lot, a big story, you know, because a lot of time, and I'm playing since 1991. And we come also to this, a molten ball, you know, because molten is nowadays also, the street ballers are showing up with a molten ball. Molten, I have played my first molten ball in 1995, you know, 1995. I show you the picture, maybe you know which model ball that was. Maybe you are born in that time or not, or you have played since then. And I never liked molten, you know. I had nothing to do with molten. I can tell you this molten was to us. I have seen the balls later on in the late 90s in pictures, you know, and I always thought, oh, the balls, I don't like them, you know. Molten was nothing, it was Spalding. Spalding was the gold standard and all other balls were not good, you know. That was my time. And I started it with a Franklin ball, you know. That is important, the Franklin David Robinson ball. We dribbled it in the street, beside the cars when I went home, and that was great. And then in 1995, it was the only time in my life I played indoor, beside the normal school time, where you had the sport education. And in 1995, that was 5 days, really enjoyable. And what we had there, that was a molten ball. We got a molten ball. And when I think right back, I wanted to show up there with my Franklin ball. But they said, no, we play with the balls which we had. But I wanted to play with the Franklin ball, you know. Franklin was, to me, wow, that was my ball. And not a molten ball. Since then I had nothing to do with molten. This is like, to me, it's molten in that way that you understand it. In better words, if I would go into a shop, yeah, in a normal eating shop or a shopping mall, and there is a lipstick for women, for example, doesn't interest me, you know. I'm not a woman, what shall I do with a lipstick? And the same would be with molten balls. A lipstick is the same like a molten ball to me, or it was back then. It doesn't interest me, you know. For example, if you would have gotten a molten ball at birthday or Christmas, oh my gosh, that was pain, you know. You will never have this. A Spalding ball. Spalding was the gold standard and nothing else. You know, that is so different nowadays. Nowadays people only molten, molten, molten. It's also great and good, I have done this, but you see, we have so much difference from my street ball back then to nowadays. And the FIBA 3-3 tournaments nowadays, I say it again, it is great for the younger people, they love this, they have their sport, this is all fantastic, but I cannot deal with that, you know. And we will come why I play alone, and that is important that you understand this now, all what I tell you. Because for example, FIBA 3-3, you have the lines, you have the quick playing, and they use a size 6 ball. What have I to do with a size 6 ball? A size 6 ball, I will never play a size 6 ball. When you would have shown up at my home court with a size 6 ball in the 90s, they would have put your ball and would have kicked it into the river. You know, I have shown up there with a size 5 ball, a Lakers ball. No one liked this, they will not play with this. They better sit there and say, we don't play. We don't play with such a ball. Really, they would have more used, if there would be a football around, then they would have used the football more lovely than such a small ball. Yeah. And so a size 6 ball, to me that has nothing to do with my street ball, for example. So this is one thing why I don't like the 3-3 street ball, personally. You know, then those quick things, bam, 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 all the time, you know. I'm not a sprinter. I don't like that. We played street ball, you know, without the lines, without those things. This is also a thing, you know. This is completely different today. Yeah, we played. You had the ball in your hand as long as you wanted, you know. We had our own rules. And you know, nowadays, for example, people want always lines. All has to be cages. They are so completely different nowadays, many. When there is a streetball court with asphalt, no lines, this is the baddest thing what exists. They want rubber courts, they want cages. Even there, they tell you, well, not a good court, no cage or whatever. You know, I cannot understand that. It is so different to my streetball, you know. It is really. And then they shown up in a street and they built their own floor, which has nothing to do with a real street. And then they call it streetball. Yeah. Or another thing, they go indoor. They make the tournament sometimes indoor because outside it's a little bit raining. Then they play indoor and call it a streetball tournament. I mean, this is poor shit to me, you know. But I don't say it is bad. Only my personal thing. You know, I will never do this. In other words, if I only would have the 3-3 basketball anymore with the size 6 ball and I could do nothing else anymore, then I will tell you I changed the sport. Then I go back to mini golf because I do a lot of sports. Because then mini golf, that makes more fun to me than this. In that words, I can tell you how different this streetball is to mine, which I have lived back in the days, you know. And so the people have a complete other side, yeah. And now we come why I play alone, because that streetball what I have lived is not there anymore. Of course, the 3-3, you can now think that it was also back then there, yeah. But you had it in the other way where you have seen this stuff, you know what I explained to you. But I always played on a street court, on a real asphalt court. And this is like in the US, you know, Rocker Park and such things. And the people, I will also show you, I will write it down. This is like my streetball. I have 3 videos, you know. I have once shown that, but when you watch this, then you will understand it. Most people will say, "Boah, that was, the players were not fast, not good. That has nothing. I don't like this. This is boring." But that is what I like, because I have grown up in that way. I will show you Chicago streetball in 1994, I think it was 1994. Then I have a game in there from the Exchange Park, you know, in 1990. And I have from 1990, I think it was in New York, where 2 guys made dunks in a real asphalt court. And when I see that, that remembers me so at the time where I played, where I started it. You know, I also played in a backyard. I show you there at the garage. It was the other place. And that was to me. And we back then, we only played. It was not like, wow, we want a match. I'm better, faster, this, that. You know, that was not there. That was complete other thing, you know. And nowadays they think complete different. In that they have not the feeling from back then. And so this is a thing why I play alone, you know, because I enjoy that what I'm doing. Because nowadays streetballers, they think complete other. There is streetball more orientated on performance, on winning and losing. And to me, for example, winning and losing has to me right now nothing to do anymore with streetball, because I don't play a game. For what? I don't like winning, losing. I have played my whole life in tournaments, you know, but in other sports. And I hated this, because you lose, then you have a really bad feeling, boah shit, or you win, boah great. And that is always stupid. Then you train for that tournament, you have trained maybe more than the others, and then you lose. And that is something I don't like anymore, you know. So winning, losing doesn't matter to me. But to the most players, they only want to play matches, you know. They only want to show, boah, I'm better, I'm better. And then also they play really rough, you know. For example, why I don't play with others, I don't want to have fingers in my head. You know, many don't care about you. You know, they always have their fingers in. I had once gotten a finger in my eyes, and since then I thought, why should I do that? Makes not fun to me. Now you can call me soft or whatever, but you know, I enjoy that what I'm doing. I'm almost 40, and I have no pain, you know, and I can do that what I love, and that almost every day. And nowadays people, they are rough, you know. For example, back then when someone was jumping to the ring and I came from behind, I would not throw the ball out because you can damage your shoulder. I was always a careful player to others and also the others to me when you had your people. Yeah, nowadays when you shown up with other people is also, there are so many people nowadays, also so many club players who come out. Back then I didn't know a club player at my area what was showing up on the court, you know. Nowadays there you see them with the molten walls, and you know, I don't like that, you know, when they are rough, and this also a part. And then we come to the style nowadays. Yeah, almost every person has tattoos, and I hate tattoos, you know. I hate them so much. And why should I spend my free time on the court when I see then there are all people with tattoos, when I don't like that stuff, you know. Sorry, I live in the wrong time. I would love to live in the late 80s, early 90s again. That would be the perfect time to me. Yeah. And nowadays you only see tattoos, tattoos, tattoos. I don't want to see that all the time, and especially not in my free time. Also a reason. And the other part is the music style. They shown up on the court, I mean, with the smartphone, yeah, and put the smartphone on the floor, and there comes the music. Man, back then they had a ghetto blaster, a really big one, where a big sound came out, and nowadays they shown up with a smartphone, with the speakers, which you think, boy, that sounds so ugly. And on the other side I have tiny dos. I don't want loud music, you know. That damages me, you know. I have a lot of experience with tiny dos, but also the style of music, you know. They shown up with an auto-tune hip-hop music, you know, or German rap. I don't like German rap personally, you know, and I don't like those auto-tune new style music what exists nowadays, you know, and that you hear on the streetball courts most of the times, you know. And why should I spend my free time then with things what I don't like? Then I hear that music what I don't like, I see people with all the tattoos I don't like, and then they play rough, have the fingers in my head. I don't like that, you know. That is not enjoyable to me, because back then it was other, and then they are really performance orientated. They love a rubber court with cage, with rules, you know, and I like a court where I have my own rules, you know, like back in the days. There I decided if I put on a light at night or not. I played when I want, you know. No one told me something there. And when strange people come in, we have shown them that they will never come back at that court, you know, because it was our court. And so when I'm here, for example, people don't understand it. They only see the ring. Oh, that is not a good ring. It is not straight and this and that. But I see, for example, not the court. I see the landscape. Now the wind comes back. I enjoy the landscape. Sorry that my ball is rolling away. I hold it, so I have to make it more slow. You see that? When I'm here, I enjoy the landscape. I enjoy to drive with my bicycle here to this court. This is also a part of my streetball, you know. I love to bicycle, yeah. And here I need 45 minutes. I see the fresh air. I play always on the other court, you know. Every single session I play other balls, and that I like so much, you know. I can relax here, watch to the mountains. I go home, wow, that was really a nice day. And most of the younger ones, they only are performance orientated. But again, it is not bad, you know. I don't say they are bad and that this back then was good. No, this is great for them. I will only show you that the streetball I have learned is complete different to the streetball nowadays most of the time. And I don't want to spend my time with something which I don't enjoy. And that is why I come here alone. And the other part is I have to talk the whole day to people. You know, in my job I have to talk, all again. And then I'm happy when I'm alone. Because streetball back then, because no one was playing at my area back then, when I was a few years alone playing. And so basketball was always a part which I enjoyed alone, you know, because all other sports, tennis, table tennis, skateboarding, roller skating, inline hockey, and on and on and on. We all played together, yeah. And basketball was the only thing I played alone, and that I enjoyed since then, and I do nowadays, because here I can be relaxed. I can do what I want, and I love, for example, training, not gaming. I'm not interested if you are better or not, because it is very simple. When you are club orientated and have played half a year in a club, you will beat me easily. It is very simple, yeah. I was long enough in tournaments and in the sport thing area, but I want to enjoy it, and I always enjoyed the training, you know. When I'm here, I am my own chief. I decide what do I want today. Do I want to make only 3 shots today? Do I want to make sprints, bam, layups again? Do I only want to enjoy playing, only walking? And this, that I could not do with other people are here, you know. Then you have to make a match. They only want to play a match. Back then we made cool shots and tried other things. There was not only match. You know, nowadays only match. You know, to me, there is no winning and losing. I don't like that. I don't play that. And so this is why I also play alone. And here I can decide completely what I want to do. Do I want to make 2 hours without a break training session? Do I want it to more relaxed? And when you love training, then tell me, when you play a match, most of the time, and there are 5 people, you are standing. I'm standing here and waiting for a ball, standing, waiting. To me, this is lost time, because streetball is now my prioritization number 1, and there I can train. And if I have to stay 1 hour and only have 15 minutes to play the ball, that is boring to me, you know, because then I search other sport and I go back to fitness and make 5-6 times a week my fitness style. Then I have another body, more trained, you know, and that is why I enjoy it so much. I enjoy that really much. And the streetball from back then is not there anymore, but to me it is there, because I play alone and I enjoy that. And if I would play with others, not all people, but then it is a complete other thing, because nowadays they live for other streetball, most of the people. You understand that? But they have their thing, it is great for them. I'm very lucky that they have the streetball tournaments and this and that, but it has nothing to do with my streetball, what was back then from the early 90s. And I had the same style nowadays. I show you a picture from 1998, then you see it, I had the same clothing style like nowadays. I had the same music style what I listen nowadays. I do the same as back then. I have not changed, you know. I have no tattoos, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I have nothing changed since back then. I do complete the same stuff. And so I live like in the early 90s nowadays, yeah. And that it is. And also with people, you know, they only want to show you, boy, I'm better than you. We play 3-3, come, we play 1-1, I show you that I'm better. You know, it's so, camera overheated. And the other thing is also the clothing. For example, you go nowadays there and they have those long sleeves on, those very, back then, impossible. You know, you would get thrown out of a court. But again, it is not bad, it is not good. You know, nowadays it's other style, great for them, but you know what I mean? It is so different to me when I go to a court than I have lived it. You know, maybe other people had other experience when it was in the 90s, but my streetball I have lived for 10 years or so was complete other than nowadays. When you shown up to a court nowadays, or when I shown up, then they want to play the match, they have other music style, they have other thoughts, they say you make mistakes, this, that, you know, I enter a thing which I don't like, you know. Also, they call on my videos, you know, I don't play a tournament, I don't play something, and they say I make this or that wrong, yeah. You know, for example, I try to make it all as good as possible, that I don't make mistakes like the rules are, yeah? I don't show this and blah blah blah, you know. I try to make it as correct as possible, but I enjoy what I'm doing, and when I make 3 or 4 steps, yeah, then it is so, you know. I enjoy that what I'm doing, and that is, back then you made a lot of tricks and that doesn't matter. Now it's so performance orientated, you know, most of the times. But again, it is great, you know, all the time, absolutely great, but to me so other, you know, I cannot enjoy that, you know, and that's why I'm not doing it. And when I play alone, I have my streetball, which I learned in the early 90s, and I love at most a real asphalt court with a ring. I don't need those lines for what, you know. I enjoy that, yeah. And nowadays people, most of them, they can't think about, oh, he's playing in the snow. Yeah, that is a clickbait title, it's shit, you want to generate money, or I'm stupid because I play when it is snowing, when it is raining, what a stupid, go indoor, when it's cold, go indoor, you know. This is not my streetball. I had it ordered back in the days, and I still live the same streetball dream as back in the days in the early 90s. Everything is the same. I'm the same person, I make the same stuff, I enjoy it the same as back then, and that it is, you know. And I hope that the nowadays people also can enjoy it, but I think a lot of them cannot enjoy what they are doing. They only see the ring, the court, bam, 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 bam. But yeah, it is also good, but sometimes watch out and enjoy your area, enjoy that what you are doing, because you never know how long you can do that. And for example, when they are doing it with 6-7 years playing that good right now as back in the days, 22-year-old people, you know, in short words, I don't know if this is healthy, you know, when they make with 5, 6, 7 years those quick crossovers and again, I don't know when they are 35, 40 years, I don't know if they still can move and run without pain in their knees, in their hips, I don't know, you know. I think it is always the best when you can enjoy your thing as long as possible without pain problems, yeah. And so here we are, watch this, you know. And I tell you other thing, you know, for example, I know people see the white space, the ball can fly out, they see the wrong ring and this and that, but I see the landscape, yeah. I see all that stuff, I enjoy my day, I drive here with bicycle, I have the fresh air, I can say, boah, now I take this ball, for example, this molten ball I like, yeah. I'm not the guy, boah, I don't like molten. Back in the days it was uninteresting, and nowadays I'm open and say, yeah, good or not. But in general, I would choose a other ball like the other molten balls. I would more likely a Spalding or Wilson ball, because I have learned it 10 years older. And when someone has played 10 years the molten balls, he will say the same about the Spalding ball. It's always how you have grown up, yeah. And I don't change myself, you know. That is also important. And I enjoy that, to come here, order ball, order ring, order place, I have to adjust to it. That is streetball. I have to take this what is there, you know. And then next day I go to other court, other area, other vibes, other people, other weather, other conditions, and that I do again. And so I enjoy that all day long, you know. And for example, when people tell me that here it is not beautiful, you know, I say you something other. For example, when a Rihanna, you know, a Rihanna tells that here the mountains are so beautiful, I have heard this from her, yeah, I have seen it. And when she tells you that this area around is one of the most beautiful areas in the whole wide world she has ever seen, I mean, I don't have to say more, or then what people tell me is, I don't need to say more, really, you know, that it is. But again, that sounds now maybe completely strange for someone, but again, I love that what I do, and you should love what you do, you know. You make your stuff, you play your game, you make your FIBA tournament, absolutely great, you know. I love that when you do something what you love, but to me, I love that what I love, and that is halt different to that what I see nowadays on the courts. And that is why I play alone, because then we get not confronted, you know. We would not fit most of the times. The same when you would think when I'm playing, it doesn't matter where here, that there is someone showing up, oh cool, hey, are you filming, hey cool, what ball do you have? There comes no one, they're absolutely not interested. When I come to a car, hey, wow, cool, what ball do you have? Can I see it? Wow, show me, you know. I'm order. Then no one asks you something. It's also different, you know. But it is what it is. I enjoy what I do, and you should enjoy what you do, and then it is the best way. Then you know why I play alone. And yeah, that it is. So from that area, with our nice molten street ball, I swear you, back in the days they would have put now my video and destroyed it when I would shown up with a molten ball, you know. But this ball I like, yeah, it's a nice rubber ball. Yeah, and now I make a few shots, a short video, because I cannot make much with my feet, and maybe tomorrow or in 2 days I can really run again. Yeah, in that sense, enjoy street ball, call it what you want. Street ball 3-3, street ball back then, outdoor basketball in the 70s, whatever. We will see what happens in 10-20 years. Then the 3-3 tournaments, maybe we have a complete other street ball. Yeah, maybe then they shown up with those new NBA Wilson future NBA ball, maybe, you know, with the holes in. That is also something. But if you make, all people have made about this ball a video, there exists a fake balls, yeah, which you can buy for 20, 30, 40 euro, I don't know, dollar, and then they make the video and everyone clicks on, wow, nice clickbait video. You know, in my opinion to that, I can also tell you, absolutely a shit, you know, absolutely a shit. Not the ball, you know, there I don't know. When I have never had in my hand, I cannot say something. Personally, I would not expect too much, but I will always be open. If when you don't play the ball, you can say nothing. You have to play it. But why I say it's a shit, what, 2,000 euro around? I mean, it's completely nonsense. You can tell me what you want, if they have technology and this and that invented, but 2,000 euro, that is a poor shame, you know. And also we come back to this, for example, why should I pay for a street ball tournament? Why? Street ball is for free. I would never pay 1 cent for a tournament, and I would never wear clothes where they put me, you have now to wear the dress of your club, yeah, where you shown up. No, I wear my street clothes, period. And if you don't accept it, then I don't play your tournament. You know that it is. For example, why can you not make here 2 versus 2? That would be my street ball, NBA Jam. This is how we have grown up, 2 versus 2. The best people come together from the city. We don't need a referee for what a referee. We can play fair. Back then it was so, you played fair. And then we play 2 versus 2 and we have our champions. And the champions walk from one court to another court, and that would be my street ball tournament. And not paying money to show up on a street ball tournament. Yeah. But you see, it is completely different time now than I would do it. And so this is why I enjoy it. To have it alone, then I can relax. I don't see the things what I don't like, and I enjoy it. And the same you should do. You would maybe say the same about me, but that is complete order. His clothing, so he plays with skateboard shoes. He has no good technique, and on, you know. It's the same what you would say maybe about me. But I enjoy it, you know. I enjoy it, and that we can do together. Enjoy our basketball. But because all in all we play the same, yeah. But I like to play size 7 balls and not size 6 balls. In that sense, we will other thing again, the smartphones. Nowadays people always have their smartphones. You know, when I shown up here, my smartphone is in the back, in my backpack, and it doesn't interest me. When I play here 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours, I'm not interested in my smartphone. It can ring whatever it wants, you know. Nowadays people photo, Instagram, TikTok, and always have to go to the smartphone ringing. Completely uninteresting to me. We didn't have that in the 90s, you know, and I don't want it now. I have it here when something happens that I can have it, but on the court, completely uninteresting, you know. Doesn't matter who is calling, I'm not interested. I enjoy my street ball. You can do what you want. But now, watch the videos, you know. Check them really out, then you see what I have loved, and it looks maybe different to you what is nowadays, yeah, but that I loved. When I see that videos, my heart opens up, you know. In that sense, we will see us again. Till then, bye and ciao.